Hey guys, wanted to give you a quick update. Um, Today we got some really great news. Over the last week or more, things have been really flattening out as far as the coronavirus here in Vermont. The numbers are trending down. They say we've passed the peak. We've got very few cases. There's only been in the single digit few new cases in the whole state over the last week. And Dr. Mark Levine, the state's health expert, has deemed it safe for the governor to start turning things back on in the economy in the state and starting slowly to get things back to some degree of normalcy. I'm not sure many of you maybe have watched it, but it is going to be a long road, and it definitely does not mean anything like everything is back to normal. But today was a first step in what's going to be kind of a long road to get back to what things were like, a few months ago. So, given the data and the science and the facts that the governor has and the health experts and professionals have provided him, he's deemed today he has put back all exterior professionals back to work. So, painters, contractors, carpenters, landscapers of all kind, maintenance and construction, carpenters, home builders, property managers, all of that can all go back to work. Full tilt starting on Monday, following some guidelines. A lot of those guidelines we already have in place. Really, the two guidelines that he put forth were everybody has to be wearing a face covering that does not need to be a surgical mask. That can really just be a cloth mask. It could even be like a t-shirt sleeve or a buff or a neck warmer or something like that, or a bandana, and to maintain the social distancing within the groups of workers and to limit the amount of workers per each property. Now we have our own internal guidelines that we have. Each of you, many of you who have been working or in some capacity have seen these. Some of you on construction who are just going to be coming in, you'll obviously get those. But we need to be following those as we have been. I think it's important to highlight that this doesn't mean that we're necessarily completely out of the woods. And one of the reasons that we're able to kind of start getting back out is because of the huge sacrifice that everybody's made and the fact that people have taken it seriously. And so, what that means is we really need to follow the guidelines. We need to really be responsible about our social distancing and how we're, interacting with other people. And we also are still really just talking about getting back to work. It's going to be a while before crowds are going to be allowed to congregate in groups of 10 or more. They talked a little bit today about starting to open up maybe movie theaters next, where they could fill every fifth seat and things like that. Maybe restaurants where they could do every other table, and I think that's the kind of thing that we're going to start to see over the next week or two. But for right now, we're able to get back to work. I think that's really important. This has been a really long road for the company, for everybody. I'm sure everybody out there, like I said in my last video, has made a huge sacrifice, and we've managed to barely survive this. And thank goodness it hasn't gone too much longer. But been able to retain the whole entire team. Like we said early on, we had to make a lot of little cuts, so we didn't need to make any big cuts. And that's what we've done, and we've been able to retain the whole team. And in fact, we've even had some incredible people sign up or apply that came to us while this whole thing was happening. So it looks like we're going to have some great new staff. We've obviously got our core guys, and we're going to be able to get back to work because we have such wonderful clients that have stuck with us through this and are there for us, and we're going to be there for them. So in order for us to get back to normal, what we were hoping for this season probably isn't going to be exactly what we had hoped for a few months ago, but we're here. We've survived. And in order for us to get to the next level of actually really surviving and thriving and actually scratching out a real season to where we can get back to where we're, working lots of overtime and having raises and company parties and picnics and barbecues, we're going to have to get to work, and we're going to have to get to work now, right now. So we've kind of knew this was coming. We knew that Friday was, we were hoping that Friday this was going to come out. So we've already been scrambling. We're getting equipment to jobs. We've been on the horn with all of the clients, construction jobs, and we've got everything ready to turn on Monday. So anyways, you guys on construction, Matt will be in touch, and we'll be back to work. Things may look a little different. Things are going to be a little uncomfortable. It does get, some getting used to. I'm sure some of you have gone to the grocery store. I know, I go in and I've got my mask on, everything else, and it is a little odd, but it's just the new norm. I think, just remind yourself of that when you're on the job site, that, it's an acceptable thing. I mean, you don't have to feel self-conscious about wearing the mask. It's just something to do just to, and what a lot of people are doing are just kind of wearing a little, neck warmer, and you just kind of pull it up over your mouth, when you're near people. But when you're on the job working around anybody else, you have to maintain that distance. But if you're not, you have to have this mouth face covering on. Out in the yard, same thing. Anywhere around the yard, wear that face covering, because we really got to do our part to make sure that this thing just continues to go nosedive. Because we all really, are psyched to get back to work. But I think we all really are looking forward to having some sort of a normal summer here, and I think we need to really, really be continue to make sacrifices where we have to. So great news. Really excited to get everybody back. This has been one heck of a wild ride. We still are not out of the weeds as a company. This has taken a major, major toll. We're in a position where we can pull out of this still while retaining the entire group that we have, but it's going to take a lot of work, and it's going to take some swift action over us getting back to work, getting back to work quickly, and doing it really, really well and really effectively. This is not a time that we can have any kind of accidents. This is not a time that we can have any kind of downtime or slip ups or go backs on jobs. We need to just get to work, get our heads down, and make things happen. Because that's really what's going to help us get to the next level of this, which is, again, on the other side, where we can sort of get back to normal. So really looking forward to seeing everybody. Have an awesome weekend. I can't wait to see everybody circled up, like I said, on Sunday, real soon. It might not be this Monday, but definitely the following Monday we'll have our full Monday meeting, obviously 6 feet apart. So really looking forward to that. Really looking forward to you guys getting back in. Matt will be in touch with you, those of you that aren't already working, to give you, the details on your jobs and what you're doing. And we're back to work. We'll see you Monday.